God says, something incredible is about to happen in your bank account that if you skip, you lost it. Listen carefully. What you are about to receive is not just about numbers or balances or digits on a screen. It's about a breakthrough, a shift, a divine turning point that reaches into the deepest places of your soul and reminds you that heaven sees you, knows you, and is moving on your behalf in ways you cannot yet imagine. When God speaks of provision, He does not only speak of material wealth, but of restoration, peace, joy, and healing that overflows into every corner of your life, including your finances. This is not about chasing after worldly riches, but about trusting the one true source of every blessing, who holds the keys to all abundance and releases it at the appointed time. Type 1111 if you trust in God. There are moments in life when everything feels stretched thin, when the weight of bills, obligations, and unexpected expenses builds a kind of quiet ache in the background of your days. You press on. You work hard. You pray, sometimes in silence, and sometimes through tears. And even then, it can feel like you're walking through a season where the harvest is delayed, but God sees, God knows. God never misses a moment. His timing is not ours, and yet it is perfect. What you feel is late may actually be right on time in heaven's calendar. Every prayer you whispered under your breath, every time you gave even when you had little, every act of trust that no one else saw, God was there, and He remembers. There is something sacred about trusting God with your finances, especially when they seem uncertain. It's not about a transaction, it's about a relationship. It's about telling God, I believe you are my provider even when I cannot see how. And when you place your trust in His hands, even the smallest seed of faith can grow into a miracle. He does not need favorable market conditions or a perfect economy to bless you. He can take the smallest thing you have and multiply it in ways you never thought possible. Type Amen if you believe. You may have been in a waiting season for longer than you hoped, watching others receive breakthroughs while you quietly carried your own silent struggles. But there is a stirring now in the unseen. What has been held back is about to be released. Not just a deposit of money, but a deposit of favor, peace, and divine strategy that will change how you walk forward. God is not only going to bless your account, He's going to strengthen your heart, clear your mind, and remind you of who you are, a beloved child of the King. The truth is, God doesn't bless randomly or without purpose. He blesses to build, to heal, to provide, and to open doors. He is not a distant figure tossing coins from heaven. He is a loving Father who knows your needs before you speak them, who delights in providing for His children, and who longs for you to experience the joy of knowing He's with you in every part of your life, including your financial world. What's coming will not just meet your needs, but will also restore your hope. This isn't about luxury. It's about legacy. It's about breathing easier. It's about having enough to bless others, to help without hesitation, and to walk in the kind of peace that money can't even buy. This incredible thing that's about to happen is not because of luck, and it's not just an answer to a request, it's the result of faithfulness. It's what happens when God says, it's time. The release is coming, and it's not coming to tease you or to pass you by. It's coming with your name on it, with your struggle in mind, with your heart considered, but you must not turn away, you must not let doubt talk you out of it, and you must not let fear shrink your faith. Keep your heart open, keep your eyes fixed on the one who promised never to forsake you. The bank account you've watched with concern is about to become a testimony. Not because of a windfall or a lottery, but because of a divine intervention that only God could orchestrate. It will not just be about having more, it will be about knowing more deeply that you were never forgotten, that every moment of lack is being transformed into a story of grace, and every empty space is making room for what's about to be poured in. This moment is part of something much bigger, something that God has already set into motion. It's the beginning of a quiet transformation, not just in your finances, but in your spirit, your peace, and your trust in Him. Sometimes, God begins His miracles in the softest ways, through a whisper in your soul, through a moment of stillness, or even through a message that speaks directly to your heart when you need it most. Type 222 if you believe God is working in your life. You've been holding on, maybe for longer than you thought you could. There were days when you looked at what you had and wondered how it would be enough. You've stretched, sacrificed, and stayed strong, even when fear tried to creep into your heart. And through it all, God has been watching, not with judgment, but with compassion. He has seen the quiet way you've trusted Him, the prayers you've whispered late at night, and the moments when you chose faith even when everything around you was uncertain. That kind of trust doesn't go unnoticed by heaven. That kind of faith draws the heart of God closer. You're not just waiting for money, you're waiting for relief. You're waiting for a moment where the heaviness lifts, where you can finally breathe deeper, and where you can feel like you're not constantly fighting to keep things afloat. God knows this. He understands the full picture, not just the numbers, but the emotions behind them. And that's why what He's doing isn't just a transaction, it's a healing. It's a realignment. It's a promise being fulfilled in a way that only He can orchestrate. When God moves in your finances, it's not just about gain, it's about freedom. It's about releasing you from the constant weight of worry so you can step into a life where joy is not delayed and giving becomes a natural part of who you are. You were not created to live in constant survival mode. You were not meant to walk through every day with a heart full of anxiety over how things will work out. You were created to live in trust, in peace, and in the knowledge that your Father in heaven provides for His children with perfect timing. Type 555 if you're ready for peace to enter your finances. The blessing that's coming is going to touch places that go deeper than your wallet. It's going to speak to your identity. It's going to remind you that you are not forgotten and that God is still in the business of miracles. You've seen Him work before, maybe in small ways, maybe in ways you didn't even recognize until later. But this next move of God, it's going to be unmistakable. It will carry His fingerprints, His timing, and His love. And when it comes, you will know without a doubt that it could only have been Him. You don't need to strive to make this happen. You don't need to manipulate, overthink, or panic your way through. What you need now is surrender. The kind of surrender that says, God, I give this to you completely, because you are better at this than I am. That kind of surrender isn't weakness. It's strength. It's powerful. It opens the doors of heaven because it puts God in His rightful place as your provider, your protector, and your planner. There are people reading this who have been living with the pain of almost enough, almost free, almost stable. But God didn't call you to almost. He called you to overflow, not for the sake of wealth, but for the sake of His glory and your joy. He is going to take you from almost to abundance, and not just in your bank account, but in every area that has felt like it's barely surviving. Your relationships, your energy, your peace of mind. God is preparing a shift that will pour into every part of you. You may have lost things. You may have walked through seasons where what you had slipped through your fingers and you blamed yourself. But God is not angry. He is not disappointed in you. He doesn't count your worth based on what you lost or what you couldn't hold on to. He sees your heart. He sees the way you've stayed soft when life tried to harden you. And because of that, His blessing will not only restore, it will increase. You will look back at this season and say, that was where everything started to change. Let this be the day that you choose faith over fear again. Let this be the moment where you allow hope to rise, even if it's quiet and trembling. Let your spirit be reminded that the same God who fed thousands with a few loaves of bread is still at work today, and He hasn't run out of miracles. He hasn't forgotten how to bless. He hasn't stopped loving you. He hasn't stopped preparing the way. What's coming will not only take care of what you need, but it will exceed your expectations in a way that makes your heart worship. The deposit may show up in your account, but the real wealth will show up in your soul, the calm in your chest, the clarity in your decisions, the ability to breathe again without the heavy cloud of worry. That's what God is doing. He's not just adding numbers. This is not only about money, and it never was. This is about something much deeper, something that reaches into your spirit and touches the places where you've been quietly aching for change. God is preparing to show you that He has never taken His eyes off you, even in the times when you felt invisible to the world. Even in the moments when your heart questioned if your prayers were heard at all, heaven was already moving. Type yes to affirm that you believe God is working behind the scenes. You may not see it yet, but something is shifting. God is not rushing because His work is not rushed. It is precise, thoughtful, and filled with love. When He moves in wholeness. And when His blessing touches your life, it's never half done or temporary. He doesn't just want to cover one bill or give you a brief moment of ease. He wants to walk with you into a new season, one where you're no longer surviving under pressure, but living in the gentle flow of His grace, where peace isn't rare and hope doesn't fade. There is a certain weariness that comes from carrying financial stress for too long. It's more than just tiredness. It's that deep, quiet exhaustion that makes even small decisions feel heavy. God knows that feeling. He sees what it has cost you, emotionally and spiritually. He sees how you've held back from dreaming because fear keeps reminding you of everything you lack. He knows how you've spoken words of encouragement to others while carrying doubts in your own heart. But He is about to lift that burden. Not because you've earned it through perfection, but because you are His. And He loves to care for His own. Type 1212 if you walk by faith and not by sight. The blessing God is preparing will not feel like a sudden lightning strike. Instead, it will feel like morning sunlight breaking through after a long night. It will be gentle, but undeniable. You'll notice the shift in small things first: an unexpected refund, a cleared debt, a moment of favor you didn't ask for, and then, before you realize it, the bigger changes will begin to unfold. God isn't trying to impress you. He's trying to heal you. He's trying to remind you that you are worth more than what you've lost, and your future is not chained to your past. There are people who have spoken doubt over your life, and there may even be voices in your own mind that try to convince you nothing will change. But God doesn't operate based on opinions. He operates on truth, and the truth is this: He is still the God who multiplies what you place in His hands. He is still the God who brings water from dry ground, and He is still the God who makes a way where there seems to be none. You are not forgotten. You are not too late. You are not broken beyond repair. The blessing is not just coming, it's already in motion. This isn't just about financial relief. This is about restoration in every area of your life that has felt stretched, depleted, or left behind. God is speaking to you now not to raise false hope, but to awaken the real hope that never dies, the kind that lives even in the middle of delay. He is giving you a reason to look forward again, to dream without fear again, and to believe again not just in what He can do, but in who He is to you. You've been through enough to know that money alone doesn't fix everything. You've seen that joy can still feel far away, even when your needs are met. That's why God is doing something deeper. He's bringing a financial shift that is rooted in spiritual healing. He wants to show you what it means to live without constant pressure. He wants to restore your confidence not in the economy, not in your job, but in Him. When you trust Him, you begin to see that your source was never the paycheck. Your source has always been your Father. What He's going to pour into your life will not just fill a gap, it will create overflow. And that overflow will not just be for you, it will reach the people around you. You will become the one who gives freely, the one who helps quietly, the one who supports others without hesitation. Not because you have more, but because you carry peace, because you know what it's like to receive from the hand of God, and because you've learned that what He gives is never meant to be hoarded but shared. So many people feel ashamed about financial struggles, as if money problems mean failure. But God does not look at you through the lens of shame. He looks at you through mercy, grace, and love. He sees how hard you've tried, how deeply you've cared, and how much you've held on even when you wanted to give up. And now, He is stepping in not just with provision, but with comfort, with understanding, and with purpose. You are not being rescued. You are being guided into something greater. This blessing, this shift, is personal. It's not just another story of breakthrough, it's your story. It's going to be something you carry with you, something you look back on with tears in your eyes because you'll remember how close you came to giving up, but God didn't let go. And you didn't let go either. Even when it was hard, you kept believing. That kind of faith moves mountains. That kind of trust draws heaven close. That kind of heart is the kind God loves to pour into. You don't have to see the full picture to start walking in peace today. You just have to know that God is good, and He is for you. He hasn't changed His mind about your future. He hasn't withheld anything out of punishment. He's been preparing you to carry more. And now, with open hands and a soft heart, you are ready not just to receive, but to walk in a life that reflects His faithfulness. Your obedience, your patience, and your trust through the pressure have not gone unnoticed in heaven. Every step of faith you've taken, no matter how small or quiet, has planted seeds in places only God could see. And now, those seeds are starting to bloom. Type 1919 to receive miracles flowing into your life. You have walked through seasons where it felt like you had to give more than you had, where you poured out strength, time, and faith until you were nearly empty, and still, you showed up. You smiled when you wanted to cry. You helped when you could have hidden. You gave when you barely had enough for yourself. That kind of love, that kind of sacrifice, does not disappear into the air. It touches the heart of God deeply, and when God responds to a heart like yours, He doesn't just send answers, He sends overflow. There's been a shaking in your life lately. Things have been uncertain, out of place, and constantly shifting. But that shaking wasn't punishment, it was alignment. God has been shaking loose every false source of security, every false promise, every unstable foundation, not to destroy you, but to free you. To bring you to a place where your peace is no longer tied to your paycheck, where your hope is no longer tied to a deadline, and where your worth is no longer measured by what you have or don't have. The blessing that's coming is not a coincidence. It's not a result of being in the right place at the right time. It is intentional, personal, and divinely orchestrated. You have been chosen to carry this miracle. You are being entrusted with something sacred. It's not just financial ease, it's restoration, confirmation, and transformation. It will come in a way that touches every part of your life, not just the surface. God is rewriting the story you thought was finished. He is redeeming the parts of your journey you wished you could erase. Type 666 if you trust Jesus to take care of every part of your life. The world may have taught you to expect disappointment. Life may have conditioned you to keep your hopes small and your prayers safe. But God is not limited by the patterns of your past. He is not restricted by what has happened before. He doesn't bless based on your history. He blesses according to His heart. And His heart for you is full of mercy, kindness, and deep, enduring love. He doesn't just want to bring you out of struggle. He wants to bring you into freedom. Freedom means more than just paying bills on time. It means resting without guilt. It means dreaming without fear. It means no longer holding your breath every time you check your balance. God is not just going to meet your needs. He's going to teach you how to live without the weight of constant financial fear pressing on your chest. That's the kind of transformation that begins in your spirit before it ever reaches your account. You've been strong for so long, and now God is inviting you to let Him carry what you were never meant to carry alone. The bank account breakthrough is just a visible sign of a deeper healing. It's His way of saying, I see you, I hear you, I'm with you. What He's bringing will not just fill a gap, it will leave you in awe. It will make you stop and praise, not just because of what you received, but because of how deeply you feel seen and loved. This blessing will come with clarity. With it, God is going to show you the path forward. Not just how to manage what comes in, but how to walk in new wisdom, how to protect your peace, and how to keep your focus on Him, no matter the numbers in your account. He's not just giving you more, He's giving you vision. He's going to reveal new doors, new opportunities, and new ways to multiply what you receive. You won't have to chase after provision anymore, because provision will start to follow you. There is power in declaring God's goodness even before it arrives. It's not about pretending, it's about trusting. You are not alone in this waiting. Heaven is leaning in. Angels are moving. Miracles are aligning. The same God who created the universe is mindful of your daily needs. That's how personal His love is. He knows what's due. He knows what's late. He knows what your heart is quietly hoping for, and He's already made a way for every need to be met in the perfect time. The breakthrough won't come with noise or chaos. It will come with peace. You'll know it's from God because it won't bring anxiety. It will bring relief. It won't stir panic. It will settle your heart. That's how He works. His blessings carry His nature. They come wrapped in grace, not pressure, and they leave behind peace, not worry. This time, when the blessing arrives, you'll recognize it not just by what it solves, but by the way it makes your spirit rest. As you wait, don't give in to the voice of fear. Don't entertain the whispers that say it's not for you, or that you've missed your chance. What God has written for you cannot be erased by fear or delay. It will come. And it will come when your heart is ready to carry it with wisdom, gratitude, and purpose. What He's bringing is not just to ease your life, it's to expand it, to allow you to help others, to give freely, and to walk boldly in the path He's prepared for you. He is reaching into the part of your life where pressure has been heavy, where worry has taken root, where sleep has been broken by thoughts of how things will ever be okay again. He is moving in a quiet, powerful way to remind you that He is still your provider, your protector, and your peace. Type Amen if you believe God is already working behind the scenes for your good. This isn't just another breakthrough. This is a reminder of who God is to you: close, caring, consistent. He never left when things got hard. He didn't grow distant when your faith wavered. In fact, He drew closer. He stood beside you while you struggled, offering strength in silence and grace in moments you didn't even recognize. Now He is answering not just the request you made, but the need beneath it. He is bringing something that will calm more than your finances. It will calm your heart. God has been carefully preparing this blessing, arranging details you couldn't see, moving pieces behind the curtain of your life to set up the perfect release. He didn't forget. The delay didn't mean no, it meant not yet, because He wanted to give it to you when you were ready to carry it with joy, not fear. He knows the right time, and He knows your time is now. You may be carrying the weight of unpaid bills, unexpected expenses, or growing responsibilities that feel bigger than your resources, but none of this is bigger than God. He is not intimidated by your situation. He doesn't need everything to look stable before He steps in. He is the God who provides water in the wilderness and bread in the desert. He is the God who steps into impossible situations and calls them possible. And He's doing it again for you. Type 2323 if you know something good is already on its way. This blessing won't just feel like extra money. It will feel like freedom. It will feel like breathing again, like waking up without that knot in your stomach, like being able to say yes to things you've been postponing. It's more than numbers. It's about lifting the weight that's been pressing on your chest and replacing it with peace that stays. Peace that doesn't come from a deposit but from knowing God is with you in every step forward. This is not a loan. This is not a favor. This is a divine gift. It's not something you have to qualify for or earn with perfection. God is blessing you because He loves you, because you are His child, because He delights in seeing you walk in fullness, not fear. You don't have to understand how it will happen. You just have to believe He can do it and trust that He will. You've seen hard times, but God is about to show you what it looks like to be carried through them. He's about to make you a living story of grace and provision. People may wonder how things turned around for you so suddenly, and you'll know it wasn't chance, it wasn't luck, it was God. You'll remember every prayer, every tear, every quiet moment of faith that held you together when things didn't make sense, and it will make the blessing even sweeter. Sometimes God allows us to walk through seasons of pressure so we can recognize His power more clearly when He moves. If everything was easy, we might forget how deeply we need Him. But in your need, you found a closeness with Him that can't be explained with words. You found His comfort. You learned that even when the numbers didn't add up, His presence did. And now, He is showing you that He doesn't just sustain, He restores. He doesn't just hold you together, He lifts you up. This blessing is going to align things in your life that felt out of reach. It's going to give you room to breathe again, to dream again, and to give without hesitation. You've always had a generous heart. You've always wanted to help others more. And God sees that. This breakthrough isn't just for you. It's so you can be a blessing to others, just as He has been to you. Don't look back in regret. Don't worry about what you've lost. What's coming is greater. What's ahead will redeem what's behind. God doesn't waste anything. Even the hardest moments are being turned into testimonies. Even the times you wanted to give up are being woven into a story of victory. You didn't miss your moment. You're stepping into it. Let your heart rest. You don't have to chase after this blessing. It's coming to you. It's not being withheld. It's not being delayed out of punishment. It's on its way, carried by the faith you held onto when it would have been easier to give up. This is not just provision. It's a reminder that God keeps His promises. He is not only able, He is willing. He is not only listening, He is responding. The peace you've been craving is already on the wind. The doors that felt sealed shut are beginning to open. The shift you've been praying for is unfolding, quietly, powerfully, and undeniably. This is the kind of blessing that transforms how you see everything. It will make you walk lighter. It will remind you that you were never alone in the wait. It will strengthen your faith for the future. Because if God can do this, and He will, you'll know there's nothing too big for Him to handle. No request too small, no storm too strong, no heart too broken. You have walked a long road of quiet struggle, often giving your best without seeing immediate results. But even in the silence, even in the waiting, God was counting every step, catching every tear, and preparing something beautiful that would reach into your need and overflow far beyond it. Type 222 if you believe God is turning things around for your good. For too long, you have been surviving in the middle of uncertainty, looking at statements, hoping the numbers would stretch just a little more, wondering how to make ends meet without breaking your spirit. You've hidden the stress behind a strong face. You've pressed forward when your heart felt heavy. You've prayed when there was no one else to talk to. That kind of quiet perseverance matters deeply to God. He has not overlooked it. He has not turned away. He has been with you in every decision, in every sleepless night, in every breathless moment of God, I don't know what to do. There is something sacred about trusting God with the things that feel unstable. Money can feel like it controls everything, what you can do, how you live, what you dream about. But God is reminding you that He is greater than any number. He is not limited by your account balance or the deadlines stamped on your bills. He is limitless in power and endless in mercy. What you are about to receive is more than financial. It's divine proof that God has never let go of your story. This blessing that's coming is deeply connected to what you've walked through. It's not random. It's not generic. It's personal. It's shaped perfectly for your needs, your fears, your prayers. It's been sent with your name on it. And it's not just coming to patch the cracks, it's coming to rebuild what felt like it was falling apart. God doesn't do partial miracles, He completes what He begins. And He is completing something in your life that has been a long time in the making. Type 1111 if you trust in God's timing and His promises. You may not realize it, but you've been building a foundation in faith. Every time you chose to believe instead of break, every time you thanked God even when you didn't see the answer, you were laying down bricks of unshakable trust. And now, God is building something on that foundation that will last. Not just a moment of provision, but a lifestyle of peace. A life where you no longer carry the weight of wondering, will I make it? But instead live with the assurance that God has already made the way. This shift that's coming won't just change your bank account, it will change your heart. You'll begin to see yourself differently, not as someone who's always behind, always trying to catch up, but as someone who walks in step with God's favor, someone who receives without fear, someone who gives without holding back, someone who rests knowing that their life is in the hands of a faithful God who never fails. There is a calm coming, not just in your finances, but in your mind. The noise of worry, the tightness in your chest, the constant calculations in your head, God is speaking peace over all of it. You are entering a season where you will no longer feel like you're drowning in not enough. Instead, you'll rise up in more than enough, not because of your effort, but because of His grace. His love is rich, not just in affection, but in action. He loves to take care of His children, and you are one of them. Don't be afraid of what's ahead. Don't assume it will be like before. This time is different because God has prepared it differently. The lesson wasn't in losing, it was in learning who your true source is. The pain wasn't the ending, it was the pruning for what's about to bloom. The pressure wasn't punishment, it was positioning. And now that your heart has remained open, your faith still standing, your spirit still willing, He is releasing what you need, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. You might see this blessing arrive quietly. It may not come with a loud announcement. It may come through a small opportunity, a conversation, a favor, a refund, a door you didn't even think to knock on. Pay attention to the subtle ways God works, because He often begins big miracles in soft whispers. And as you recognize His hand, your heart will begin to overflow with a new sense of confidence, not in yourself, but in the One who's never failed you. This next chapter of your life will look and feel different. Not because everything will be perfect, but because you'll be walking with a renewed awareness of God's goodness. You'll spend less time doubting and more time thanking. You'll speak with boldness because your testimony will be alive in every step you take. The very thing you used to fear lack will no longer have power over you. Because God is not only providing now, He is planting new dreams, new opportunities, and new strength inside of you. Your journey hasn't been easy, but it has made you ready. You are not weak, you are wise. You are not forgotten, you are chosen. And God is about to prove to you that everything you went through had purpose. Nothing is wasted in His hands. What felt like delay will turn out to be perfect preparation. And what felt like silence will soon be filled with praise. This isn't a moment of luck or a sudden stroke of fortune. It's the result of God's unchanging love, His perfect timing, and His deep desire to take care of His children. He has seen your journey, and He is not late. He is arriving right on time, in the most unexpected and beautiful way. Type 555 if you're ready to receive a miracle directly from heaven. There have been days when you stood in front of what you had, knowing it wasn't enough, and still you chose to believe. You looked at the numbers, and they told one story, but your faith told another. And it was your faith that reached God's heart. He was there when you gave your last, when you helped others even in your lack, when you trusted Him with the little, hoping He would turn it into more. And now, He is responding not just to your need, but to your trust. There is no blessing that comes from God that doesn't carry His fingerprints. What's about to appear in your life is something that will be marked by peace, surrounded by clarity, and wrapped in a quiet joy that lets you know this was no accident. This was planned. This was spoken over your life before you even knew to ask. The blessing coming to your bank account isn't just provision, it's protection, it's alignment. It's a divine shift that brings every area of your life closer to His promise. There were seasons where you were faithful with little, and you thought no one noticed. But heaven noticed. God watched you serve, love, and give, even when it cost you. He saw how you lifted others when you were secretly weighed down. And now, the reward is coming. Not because you earned it through works, but because you walked in faith, even through storms. This is not the end of your struggle, it's the beginning of your breakthrough. And this time, it's going to be different. Type 2020 to claim what is already being released over your life. You're going to see doors open that you didn't even knock on. You'll find answers in places you didn't expect, and it won't feel forced or rushed. It will feel natural, like something settling into place. That's how God works. When He provides, He brings peace with it. Not confusion, not fear, just peace. That's the evidence that it's from Him. So when it comes, and it will let your heart recognize His hand and give thanks. What God is preparing for you is more than just help, it's healing. Healing from the years you felt behind. Healing from the shame of not having enough. Healing from the fear that history would repeat itself. This is a new season, and with it comes a new identity not defined by what you lack, but shaped by the truth of who you are, loved, seen, and provided for. You are not forgotten. You never were. You are held in the hands of a Father who knows exactly what you need and when to release it. There are things you've been dreaming about but have quietly buried under the weight of worry. God is uncovering those dreams again, not just so you can wish, but so you can walk into them. This financial shift is about freedom. Freedom to breathe, freedom to plan, freedom to give, freedom to build without fear of loss. You're going to step into a place where generosity flows easily because fear no longer controls your decisions. That's the kind of wealth God gives. It comes with peace, not pride. It comes with wisdom, not worry. The weight you've been carrying, that silent pressure that builds in the background of every decision, that's what God is lifting. The breakthrough is not just about having more. It's about living differently, living freely, living with the assurance that every day your needs are known, your steps are ordered, and your future is secure. This is the kind of life God designed for His children, and He's calling you into it now. Your past financial struggles do not disqualify you from receiving what's next. In fact, they've prepared you. They've softened your heart, they've taught you compassion, they've made you wise, patient, and resilient. And now, when the blessing arrives, you will handle it with gratitude, not arrogance. You'll see it as a tool, not a trophy, a means to help, not just a moment to enjoy. That's why God can trust you with more, because He knows you'll use it with love. God's timing may have felt slow, but it was careful. He wasn't withholding. He was preparing. He was making sure what He gave wouldn't overwhelm you, but would bless you. He was aligning your heart with His, so that when the blessing arrived, you would see it clearly, receive it humbly, and walk with it faithfully. And that moment is coming closer now. With every day you're being drawn toward it. Every step of faith is bringing it nearer. So don't lose heart. Don't let delay convince you that it's not happening. Don't let fear steal the joy of what's coming. Instead, stand firm in the quiet confidence that God finishes what He starts, that He provides more than enough, that He is faithful, even when everything else feels uncertain. This is your moment to believe again, not just for money, but for the miracle behind it. There is power in your belief. There is beauty in your trust, and there is breakthrough on the other side of your faith. God isn't just going to bless you, He's going to surprise you. In the most ordinary moment, in the most unexpected way, something will shift, and it will be the beginning of something greater than you imagined. Through every delay, every unexpected detour, every anxious night, and every moment of confusion, you kept choosing to believe that God would come through. And now, the season is changing. What you've prayed for, wept for, and waited for is about to break through, not just with a financial shift, but with the peace and confidence you've needed for far too long. Type Amen if you believe your breakthrough is near and your heart is ready to receive it. God's way of blessing doesn't always look the way we imagine. Sometimes it's not a sudden explosion, but a gentle and steady flow that keeps building until your life is overflowing with peace, security, and strength. The blessing that's coming will be layered. It will begin in your account, yes, but it will grow roots in your home, in your mind, and in your sense of purpose. Because God doesn't just care about giving you more. He cares about you becoming more of who He created you to be. You were never meant to live under the weight of fear about the future. God never designed you to carry the stress of scarcity, the constant juggling, or the feeling that you have to do it all alone. That pressure has tried to wrap itself around you and convince you that you're stuck, but God is reminding you that He is your provider, not your job, not the economy, not your connections, not your credit score. He alone has the power to take what looks impossible and turn it into a testimony. Type 1212 if you walk by faith, even when the road ahead is uncertain. This moment is part of a divine setup, not a trap but a turning point. God is using your current circumstances as the stage where He will reveal His goodness, not to impress anyone but to remind you that His promises are true, that His timing is perfect, and that He always comes through for His children. You may feel like you've been walking uphill for a long time, but every step has brought you closer to the edge of breakthrough, and now you're standing right on the edge of something new. This isn't just financial change, it's emotional release. It's the release of the stress that has quietly lived in your shoulders. It's the exhale you've been waiting to take. It's the shift in your spirit when you finally realize you're no longer surviving, but starting to live again. That is what God is bringing. A peace that doesn't just last for a moment, but carries you into a new mindset, a new rhythm, a new life. And it's not just for your sake. God is blessing you so you can bless others. The kindness you've shown in seasons of lack will be returned to you in abundance. The help you gave, the prayers you offered, the support you extended, even when you were struggling yourself, those moments planted seeds. And God, the Master Gardener, has been watering those seeds in silence. Now they are blooming. Your harvest is coming, and it won't just be enough for you, it will be enough to share. This isn't about wealth for pride. It's about provision for peace. It's about creating space in your life for generosity, for purpose, and for rest. God is not adding to your life just to increase your comfort. He's doing it to prepare you for the calling that's ahead. The dreams you've held in your heart, the quiet desires to do more, give more, serve more, they weren't selfish. They were glimpses of your purpose. And now, with this shift, you'll finally be able to move forward with strength, without the weight of financial fear slowing you down. You may have wondered if God was still listening. You may have felt like your prayers were too small, too repetitive, or too late, but none of that is true. God hears every word, He holds every request, and He answers with more love than you could ever imagine. What's coming your way is not delayed, it's designed. Tailored for your exact need, arriving at the exact moment you're ready to carry it. This new season will feel different. The worry that once lived in the back of your mind will begin to dissolve. The fear that used to steal your sleep will fade. You'll move differently. You'll make decisions with peace. You'll plan ahead with confidence, not because of money, but because you'll know deep in your bones that God has you, that He provides, that He never fails. And this is just the beginning. What God is releasing now will open the door to more wisdom, more opportunity, more joy. As you step into this next chapter, stay close to Him. Let every blessing be a reminder to keep walking in faith. Let every deposit, every open door, every unexpected favor remind you of how deeply you are loved. God isn't just giving to you. He's walking with you, step by step, moment by moment. But God did not create you for barely enough. He is the God of abundance, of overflow, of blessings that chase you down and overtake you when you least expect it. What's coming isn't just a financial change, it's a total shift in the atmosphere around you. Something is breaking open, something is releasing, and it carries peace, provision, and divine purpose with it. Type 666 if you trust Jesus with your life, your needs, and your future. You've been faithful with the little. You've stretched what you had, trusted God with what you didn't, and kept going even when your hands were tired. You've given, helped, served, and smiled through moments that felt heavy, and even when no one noticed, heaven did. Your Father has seen every step you've taken in faith, and now He's getting ready to respond not with a trickle, but with a flow, not with a moment, but with a movement. The miracle coming to your finances isn't about making you rich. It's about making you whole. It's about God showing you that He's never left your side, that He's not blind to your efforts, and that He is always working behind the scenes for your good. The breakthrough is going to come quietly, but it will change everything. It's not going to shake the ground with noise, it's going to fill your spirit with peace. It's going to settle the questions in your mind and let you breathe again. You've lived long enough waiting for the right time. You've hesitated, paused, pulled back, thinking you weren't ready, or that you had to get everything perfect before things could change. But God isn't waiting for perfection. He's waiting for surrender. The moment your heart lets go of fear and makes space for His plan, things begin to shift. He's not asking you to figure it all out. He's asking you to trust that He already has. This next season is about ease, not the absence of effort, but the presence of grace. You won't feel like you're forcing things anymore. You won't be chasing after provision. Instead, it will come to you. Ideas, solutions, resources, they'll start appearing in ways you never expected. God is turning the tables. Where there was strain, there will be flow. Where there was confusion, there will be clarity. Where there was delay, there will be divine acceleration. Type 2323 if you're ready to receive something better than what you expected. There is a reason the enemy tried so hard to break your confidence. He knew what was coming. He saw the increase ahead, the calling on your life, the strength of your faith, and he hoped that if he could distract you with fear, he could keep you from walking into it. But he failed. You're still here, still believing, still hoping, still praying, and that is why the blessing is on its way, not just to meet a need, but to restore everything that was shaken. You'll begin to notice the change in small ways. The phone call you didn't expect, the open door you didn't plan for, the yes where you only anticipated a no. God is already moving. He's not waiting for the perfect storm, He's calming it. And He's doing it in such a way that when the provision arrives, you'll know without a doubt that it was His hand, His grace, and His timing. And when it comes, don't be surprised if it brings tears, not from stress but from relief, from the realization that God didn't forget, that He was listening all along, that everything you went through, the sacrifices, the patience, the discipline, the waiting, it all mattered. None of it was wasted. It brought you here, to this moment, to the place where God pours out a blessing that not only changes your finances, but also your faith. You will begin to see yourself differently. You'll stop walking like someone who's barely surviving and start living like someone who knows they are provided for. Because when God provides, He does it fully. He doesn't give crumbs, He gives in fullness. And what you receive will not only take care of your needs, it will heal parts of your heart that you didn't even realize were wounded by the lack. There's going to be peace in your home. There's going to be lightness in your step. There's going to be new ideas, new joy, and new favor. You're going to speak with a new boldness because you've seen God come through for you in the place that scared you the most. And from that day forward, you'll never doubt that He sees you, He hears you, and He knows exactly how to provide. Let this moment be a turning point in your thinking. No more living in fear. No more speaking from a place of not enough. From this moment on, let your words reflect what you believe, that God is your source, that He is generous, that He is timely, that He takes care of His children, and that you are walking into a season where your head doesn't drop from pressure, but lifts in praise. This financial miracle will be followed by others. Once the door opens, more will follow. Because God's blessings aren't meant to be a one-time surprise. They are meant to be a new way of living, a new way of trusting, a new rhythm of peace and provision, where you no longer react in fear but move in confidence. You'll stop wondering if things will fall apart and start expecting them to fall into place. He is releasing a blessing that has the power to restore lost time, renew forgotten dreams, and rebuild the parts of you that felt worn down by years of waiting and wondering. You haven't come this far for nothing. You didn't endure all that pain just to return to where you started. God is moving. And this time, He's moving in your favor. Type 1111 if you trust that God is making a way for you even now. For too long, you've lived under the weight of uncertainty. You've tried to plan and prepare, yet no matter how careful you were, the unexpected kept knocking at your door. It felt like every time you made progress, something would pull you backward. But what you didn't see was that even in the moments that felt like setbacks, God was setting you up for something greater. Every delay had a reason. Every disappointment carried a lesson. And now, every piece is coming together. This upcoming financial blessing will do more than relieve stress. It will restore confidence. Confidence not in the money itself, but in the God who never left your side. He walked with you through every high and low, not just watching but working. He was guiding, protecting, and preparing. And now that your heart has matured, your faith has deepened, and your spirit has grown stronger, He is opening the door you've been praying for. This shift will reach beyond the numbers in your account. It will change how you think, how you walk, how you trust. It will awaken your spirit to remember who you are in Him. No longer someone just scraping by, no longer someone hoping things will change, but someone living in the truth that they are loved, chosen, and provided for by the Most High God. Type 222 if you believe your next chapter is already being written by God's hand. This will be the kind of blessing that flows into your life with peace, not pressure. You won't have to beg for it or chase after it. It's coming because your heart is aligned with the giver, not just the gift. You've grown in the silence. You've learned to trust without seeing. And because of that, God knows He can trust you with more. More responsibility, more resources, more reach. Because you've proven that even in lack, your heart remained faithful. He is not just giving you more so you can have more. He's giving so you can live with purpose. He's entrusting you with this breakthrough because He knows you'll use it wisely, with kindness and with grace. You'll bless others. You'll give freely. You'll walk in humility, never forgetting who brought you here. And that's exactly why the blessing will continue to flow not just once, but again and again. Don't be surprised if the answer comes in a way you didn't expect. God rarely works according to our logic. Sometimes He sends what we need through unusual doors. Sometimes it comes through a person, a job, an opportunity, or a moment you almost overlooked. Because what seems small at first may turn into the very thing that changes your situation completely. You may feel like you're still in the middle of the storm. But what you don't see is that the clouds are parting. The pressure is lifting, the ground beneath your feet is shifting, and all of heaven is standing with you, cheering you on. Not because of how strong you've been, but because of how deeply you've believed. You never stopped believing in God's goodness, and now His goodness is coming to find you. This won't just be a financial deposit. It will be a deposit of peace in your heart, a wave of reassurance in your spirit, a soft voice reminding you that you're not alone and never have been. You'll feel it in the quiet moments when the stress begins to fade, when the worry grows distant, when the tension that once sat on your shoulders starts to disappear. That's when you'll know God did it. Let this be a new beginning for you. Let this be the moment you stop living in fear of running out and start living in the fullness of God's provision. Let this be the season where your plans are no longer shaped by limits, but by faith. You are stepping into something different now. Not just because you need it, but because God is ready to show you who He is in a way you've never seen before. And when the blessing comes, don't hold back your praise. Remember every tear you cried. Remember the nights you stayed up wondering how you'd make it. Remember the times you were tempted to quit but didn't. Let your gratitude be loud. Let your worship be full. Because what God is doing in your life is bigger than just you. It's a testimony that will bring hope to others. You'll be the one they come to when they need encouragement. You'll be the one saying, "If He did it for me, He can do it for you." This is not the end of your story. It's the chapter where everything starts to shift, where favor becomes your portion, where joy returns to your mornings, where peace becomes your foundation. God's hand is all over this. His timing is perfect, His promise is sure, and His love for you is beyond anything you can imagine. There's something sacred about the moment right before everything changes. It's quiet, it's still. You might not feel anything shifting yet, but deep beneath the surface, something holy is unfolding. The pressure you've been under wasn't meant to break you, it was preparing you. The delay wasn't a denial, it was divine alignment. And now, in a way only heaven could orchestrate, your breakthrough is approaching, step by gentle step, with your name on it. Type yes if your heart is open to receive what God has already planned for you. God is not careless with His promises. He is exact, intentional, and deeply loving. He does not give to impress, He gives to heal, to rebuild, to uplift, and to remind you that you are His. The increase coming to your finances is not just money, it's a message. A personal, intimate message from your Father saying, "I've seen your struggle. I've heard your cries. And I'm responding not because I have to, but because I want to." There are moments in life when you feel forgotten, when your prayers feel like echoes and your efforts seem to go unnoticed. But even then, God is working. Even then, He's watching over you. You've passed tests you didn't know were tests. You stayed kind when bitterness tried to grow. You chose faith when fear would have been easier. And because of that, God is pouring into your life something that has been prepared for this exact time. Not a moment too early, not a second too late. Type 1919 if you receive the miracles God is placing into your life right now. This blessing will arrive in a way that speaks peace into places of you that have long been anxious. It will come as a steady whisper of reassurance that settles your spirit and reminds you that God never forgets what He starts. He completes every good work. He follows through. He delivers. And not one of His promises has ever returned empty. It may begin small, a bill paid with ease, an unexpected refund, a door you thought was closed opening again. But as you keep walking in trust, the flow will grow. Because blessings are not just one-time gifts, they're seeds, and when planted in faith, they multiply. You will look around and realize that what once made you feel anxious no longer has the same power. The financial weight that followed you around like a shadow will be lifted, and in its place will be confidence, calm, and clarity. You'll stop surviving and start living. You'll move from stress to strategy, from worry to worship. That's what happens when God steps into the middle of your situation. He doesn't just drop something off and walk away. He stays. He leads. He carries you through every new season with grace and purpose. And He's not doing this just to solve a problem. He's doing it to remind you of your worth. You were never forgotten. You were never overlooked. You've always been seen, even when the world failed to notice. God has been keeping track of every moment, every loss, every seed of generosity you sowed when it hurt, and now, the harvest is coming. It's been growing underground, quietly, slowly, and now it's ready to rise. You may not be able to explain how it happens, but you'll know it's Him. You'll feel it in your heart. That unshakable knowing that this wasn't random or earned, it was given. It was grace. It was God showing you just how deeply He knows your needs and how willing He is to meet them. This financial turnaround is not just relief, it's release. It's a release of the past, a release of shame, a release from the fear that's gripped your thoughts every time you looked at your account, every time you made a hard decision, every time you questioned whether you were falling behind. God is breaking that chain now. You are stepping into freedom, real, tangible, spiritual freedom. And as you walk into this new season, your gratitude will grow deeper. Because you'll remember how it felt to wonder if God would come through, and now you'll know He always does. Maybe not when we expect it, maybe not how we imagined, but always better, always sweeter, always wrapped in love. There will be moments when you look at what's happening and tears will fill your eyes, not from stress, but from awe. From the realization that after all this time, God was writing a story that led you here. And this chapter, the one you're about to enter, is filled with provision, rest, and renewed purpose. You'll find yourself waking up with hope again, planning again, dreaming again, not with anxiety, but with excitement. You'll make decisions from a place of peace, not panic, because when God blesses you, He blesses all of you, not just your wallet, but your walk, not just your money, but your mindset. This shift will begin to ripple out into other areas of your life. Relationships will heal, opportunities will appear, the way you see yourself will change. You'll stop apologizing for simply wanting stability. You'll start recognizing that abundance is not selfish, it's sacred when it comes from the hand of God. And the best part? This is only the beginning. What's coming isn't a one-time miracle. It's a new rhythm, a new season, a new atmosphere around your life. You're going to live lighter, love deeper, give freely, and stand taller, not because of what you have, but because of who you now know your provider is. Let this be your turning point. Let your heart open fully to what God is preparing. Don't hold back your hope anymore. Don't silence your belief. You're not foolish to expect more from a faithful God. You're not wrong to keep waiting. Because He is faithful, He is good, and He is near. The blessing is coming, and it's bringing healing with it. It's not just about what's coming to your account, it's about what's leaving your heart. Fear is being broken off of you. The fear that there won't be enough. The fear that things will always be this hard. The fear that what you lost won't be restored. God is silencing those lies with His presence. He's whispering truth back into your spirit. You are not abandoned. You are not forgotten. You are not too late. You are right on time for what He is about to do.